Hi, and welcome back to Willey Farms. I'm Donna Cavender. Thanks so much for tuning in today. I think we've got a great show for you. I want to remind you we're conveniently located right on Route 13 in Townsend, just below Odessa, just north of Smyrna. On today's show, we've got some special guests for you. It's always fun to have special guests. And today's special guests, some students from the Middletown High School FFA program. They're going to talk about composting. And we also have Heather Callahan, one of our vendors who brings us lots of beautiful flowers. And so we'll be talking about container gardening with vegetables and edible flowers. So hope you'll stick around for all of that. Of course, remember, you can always check us out on Facebook and on our website page, which is willeyfarms.com. Let's check out the show. Well, as promised, we're here in the greenhouse and we're going to get our hands dirty today. We're going to talk about composting, as we mentioned, and we have some experts here. At least I hope that they're experts. We have some students from Middletown High School, the FFA program, and tell us a little bit about yourself. What's your name? And
my name is Rachel, and I am in 11th grade, and I take Plant 3.
Okay, what does Plant 3 mean?
Plant 3 is Plant Level 3 out of the 4 courses. And we focus on things such as pest and weeding and things like that.
Okay, great. And you?
I'm Sarah. I'm a senior at Middletown, and I am in the Plant Science Level 4 class.
Okay, and have you been in FFA all of high school, or did you come to it later?
I've been in FFA all of high school.
Okay.
And some of middle school.
All right.
I've been in FFA all 4 years of high school, and I was also in FFA as a middle schooler too.
Oh wow. Okay. So, and do you both come from a farm background?
I don't at all.
Okay.
I don't either.
Do you find that now? Do you know how many students are in the FFA program in your school?
Probably around 70 or so.
Okay. All right. And do you know? Can you tell us whether a lot of those students are have a farm background or not?
It would be a small number of kids who come from either directly from a farm or an agricultural background.
Okay.
Since we live in more of a suburban area.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, the farms are disappearing around here, that's for sure. But thanks to the great FFA program at Middletown High School, you still get to learn all about agriculture and farming.
Yeah.
So let's get to what we're going to talk about today. We're talking about composting. And Rachel, you're going to tell us about
what goes in and what doesn't go in your composting bin.
Okay, that's a very important question. It's kind of like at the recycle bins too. Some people don't know what's supposed to go into the recycle bins. So let's find out exactly what needs to go in to the compost pile and what doesn't. All right, Rachel, what do we got?
So for your composting bin, you need an appropriate balance of wet and dry in there. So some dry examples would be things such as the dry leaves and the eggshells, and that could also be plant clippings, yard clippings, anything like that. And for your wet, that would be things such as produce scraps, like fruit and vegetables, we have lettuce and cucumbers here. Mm-hmm. But that could also be things such as coffee grounds and even the coffee filters.
Oh, the coffee filters, because they're biodegradable?
Yep.
All right, very good. Okay, now I want to put this in.
Styrofoam does not go in because it takes so long to break down.
Okay.
And also things such as meats, dairy foods, all things like that, because they will start to smell and they will also attract pests to your composting bin.
We don't want that. And depending upon how much property you have, you could have I do have a compost bin, and it is far away from my house. But if you don't have a lot of property, you might have to keep your compost bin a little bit closer to the house, and you wouldn't want to have all kinds of varmints and bugs and all kinds of things there. Okay, so now we know what goes in and what doesn't go in. All right, Sarah, I think you're up.
Okay. So composting is organic matter that has been decomposed and recycled as a fertilizer and a soil amendment that you can use in your garden at home. And there are a lot of different benefits to composting.
Okay.
It enriches your soil, and it can help retain moisture and help fight against pests and diseases in your plants. It can also, it reduces the need for chemical fertilizers, which can save you money in the long run. And then it encourages growth of beneficial bacteria that can be helpful to your garden and your plants. And then it also reduces the amount of waste that you put into a landfill, which is better for the environment overall.
Right. So we're kind of getting back to nature by using what we're not going to use anymore and recycling that into something that we can use again.
Yes.
Now, about how long does it take for this to become something that we can put on our vegetable plants and on in our flower beds as a good nutrient for those plants? How long does it take for this to turn into good compost?
That depends on how much you're putting into it and how often you turn it.
Okay.
It can take as quick as about 2 months if you are turning it every day and adding the appropriate mixture of your wet and dry components. But then it can also take more months to decompose, and it also helps if you have smaller items in there. The smaller they are, the faster it will break down.
Okay, so I just broke these cucumbers up into big chunks, but it would probably be better if they were in smaller chunks. Okay, as well as the rinds and things, and grass clippings can go in too, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay, and so and we have something here at Willey Farms that is it's from the Espoma people. It's organic, and that we're talking organic here, right? We're turning all of this into more organic matter, right? Yeah. So we've got a compost starter that if you want to have a little help, we've got that, and we have some soils that we have too. Compost soils and soil amendments and things like that will help out. So just a refresher, a reminder, no styrofoam in your compost, no meat in your compost, and this we put down here because it's coated in a wax.
So that would take longer to break down.
That would take longer to break down, and you don't want that. But you could, this is just a piece of paper. So it could go in. It might take a little bit longer for it to decompose, but it could go in. So you don't want this, and you do want this, and you get something really, really cool when it breaks down. And now we're going to talk about how to maintain it and the bins that we need to use. So we're going to bring in your classmates, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So we're continuing to talk about composting, and we brought in 2 more of the students over at Middletown High School, the FFA program. And we have Hannah and Elizabeth. And why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself?
I'm a junior. I'm the treasurer of the chapter at my school, and I have been involved in FFA for the past 3 years. I'm in both environmental and plant science.
Oh, so you've got a big workload. Right. Okay, Hannah, how about you?
I'm a senior at Middletown High School, and I've been involved with the FFA for the past 5 years. And I have taken the plant science courses, the animal science courses, and the environmental science courses.
Wow. Another overachiever over here. That's great. That's great. Okay. And apparently right now you're studying, one of the things that you're studying is composting.
Yes.
So that's what we're here to talk about today. And Hannah, you're going to talk about the different bins, because there's not just one bin that you can use. There's a whole variety, and it depends upon how big your compost pile is going to be, right?
Yes.
Okay. So how about the bins?
Okay, so there's a few different types of bins. The first are enclosed bins, and these have sides and a top. And these are the most common in residential areas because they come in various sizes, and it's just easy for homeowners, and it keeps the pests out of the compost. Another type would be rolling bins, and these are spherical bins that you keep on the ground.
They churn?
Those are actually tumbler bins.
Oh, those are tumblers.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
But the spherical bins, you can move and roll to where you want to, and put the compost in, and then roll it away.
Oh, how inventive!
A lot of people use it for yard waste.
Right.
Yep.
And because you have to turn it and air it, you have to roll it.
It's easier to turn this compost.
Why didn't I think of that?
And then another type is the tumbler bin. So that is the one you were saying that has
That
the
you
crank handle. Yep.
Okay.
And that's usually elevated up a little bit.
Right, on a stand.
Yes.
And we have them here at Willey Farms, but we sold it. So we don't have it right now, but we'll show you what that looks like. So yeah, and for folks that are in smaller apartments or in smaller houses, you can use the smaller ones, right? There's the little kitchen ones that you can use.
Yeah. So anyone that's like in apartments that don't have like maybe like a large backyard,
Right.
you could just use like the small compact ones that you can just keep like under your sink or something.
Right, and then you would still have to have some sort of a little pile
Yeah.
out back. So you would take that, dump it, and bring it back in, and then when it's outside, that's when you can add your grass clippings and things
Yeah.
like that. And so, do you think maybe those are all the bins?
No, we actually have some other ones that
Oh, okay.
First, we have some do-it-yourself projects, and if you would like to use,
I actually did this. I have one of these in my backyard.
you can use pallets.
Three pallets. Now mine is just 3. I suppose you could do 4 and do a little door or do
Yes.
something fancy, but I was just happy to get the 3 and it works. So you would get pallets like this, and you can get them from a variety of different places. And so how would you set it up?
So you would take the pallets like this. You want to make sure that they are not treated so the chemicals don't seep into
Oh,
your
good idea.
compost,
Okay.
especially if you're using
Not
it for like
treated.
a garden or something.
All right.
So you'll take these pallets and you'll place one in the back like
Then
here.
one back here.
And you would use a piece of hardware to just like secure it.
Okay.
Fasten it.
Just
And
any
then-
way you can keep
Yeah.
them together.
And then another one here.
And another one there.
And then if you would like, you can put one here as a door. And
As
you
a
could-
door.
If you wanted to, you could cut it in half and then hinge it on like one side. So then you can have like a 2-level door.
Oh.
And then just have like a securing thing.
Or you could just cut one in half and make a low wall here so that you're just
Yes,
tossing
that's
things
kind of like our
through.
one at school that we have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, great.
And then if you would like to, you can put around chicken wire to keep the pests out. Just keep it a little more secure.
Yeah, because they'll come and eat your cucumbers, won't
Yeah.
they? Yeah. How about that? Okay, so do you think those are all the bins that we have?
No. So there's
Oh.
actually a few more different things you
Okay.
could use, such as like a pile.
All right,
that you can
let's
just like start to
I'll
form.
put that back. All right, so you can just do a pile if you want.
Yes.
Okay.
So if you have a well-drained area that's like not in direct sunlight, you can just start putting your compost there and then just caring for it. Or you could build a pit. So that would be you dig like a level area about 6 to 12 inches. Mm-hmm. Usually 3 feet, like 3
Inch-
feet square,
okay.
or 5 feet square. And usually that's like as big as you
Okay.
like, unless you're doing like a commercial size. But
Right.
We're homeowners, so we won't be doing that.
Okay.
But you just start adding the compost in the pit, and then
Okay.
it's kind of like more down on the ground, so it's not like
All right.
piling up.
Okay, so we've got bins.
Yep.
So now we move on to how to maintain and how
Yeah.
to make sure that we get that black gold that we're looking for.
Yes.
And that's where you come in. Okay, so how do we maintain our compost pile?
All right, so if it's a hot pile, you want to turn it every 3 days. And turning it, you would just use a shovel like this, or if it's a smaller one like this. And you're just going to want to turn the pile and get all of the materials and components just turned so then they can start to disintegrate.
You're just trying to get some air in between everything. And now
Yes.
we're just using this potting soil because we don't have a compost pile. But hopefully when you get done your compost, it'll look more like this, right?
Yes.
It'll look like the good black gold. Okay, now you talked about a hot pile. Does it need to be in the sun, or should you have it in the shade?
So you can have piles in the shade, but you want hot piles. So most of the time, some containers are black, which would help make it hotter.
Oh, they absorb the heat. Okay.
It will decompose faster that way, so
right.
you can get your pile faster.
Okay, great. So is that pretty much all that you need to do to maintain that pile, is to make sure you aerate it and
You want to add materials.
equal parts of the dry leaves and the grass clippings?
Yes, so then
And-
you create a good chemical mixture, and you want to keep your pile damp but not too wet, because providing a balance of decomposing materials that are green and brown will help to keep it a good levels of carbon and nitrogen.
Okay. All right, so we have to have equal amounts of grass and leaves and things out of the kitchen. We have to try and remember to keep it aerated.
Yes, by turning it every 3 days if it's a hot pile.
Okay. So once you get your pile going, it's going to start to be a hot pile, and because it is actually cooking, right? Yeah, it's cooking in there, and that's where you got to get in there and get it turned over. Okay. So the equal parts, we got to make sure we turn it, And make sure, like every 3 days, you said? Every 2 to 3 days?
But then it should take 2 months to 2 years to fully be ready to use, depending on how small the materials is, how much you turn it, and how hot it is.
Okay. All right. And if you don't have much rain, then you need to just get a little water out there and make sure it gets some water
The
in there.
humidity will help.
That
from
will
the
help it all.
temperature.
Okay. Have we covered it all, you think?
I think so.
I think so.
Okay, we've covered it all. Now you know all that you need to know about composting. And thank you, girls, very much.
Thank you.
All right, we appreciate you coming by and sharing your information. And thank you to the FFA program at Middletown High School. Now we're going to move on to using some of that compost in some container vegetable gardening. Well, a big thank you to the students from the Middletown High School FFA. They talked all about composting. Now we want to talk about using that black gold that you get from composting and using it in containers, because Heather is here. Heather, thank you for stopping by.
My pleasure.
Good.
I always love coming here.
And we're going to use that composting on container gardening, but it's going to be all edible. That's what you were telling me, right?
Primarily edible.
Okay.
We want it to be decorative. Containers should be really multi-use.
Okay.
You should get a lot out of it. You can get, Willey's has all kinds of pre-made containers here that have edibles in them. So you can pick that up as a beautiful gift on the way to dinner. Save
There you go.
great gift.
Okay.
But when you're making one for yourself, then that's when your creativity can
Okay.
come and you can play.
And we can put vegetables in, we can put herbs in.
There are also many edible flowers.
Okay, I think I ate a pansy once. I think I did at one of these edible
did.
pansies.
You
Yes.
did, and
Okay.
violas are another one
Okay.
that is edible. Calendula, we'll talk about them as
Okay.
we go. as
So
we
let's
go
start
on.
with this one. We're going to start here.
Well, I did want to talk a little bit about containers.
Okay.
First, I wanted to talk about this great tower
Very
here
useful
with the pockets.
with the pockets.
And you just happen to have 3 or 4 different varieties of strawberries.
Strawberries.
Here. So you could plant ever-bearing, and look at these guys are already
Oh,
loaded with fruit.
Wow.
So
That's great.
Those could go in those pockets.
They go in the little pockets, and there's a hole that goes into the inner part of the.
That's
of the bag.
label. That's what you're looking for. You'd fill that up, put some compost in with your soil.
Right.
As you're putting it in, a little of the Espoma Garden Tone,
Right.
which is also organic.
Really
So
good for you.
That will work with your compost.
Good.
Really well. And there's some fun things you could put in those pockets too. I mean, look at this little
Really?
Easter egg radish.
Oh,
That would
okay.
be lovely in those pockets in between the strawberries.
Okay.
Or even
Oh, the herbs.
Carrots.
Oh, carrots.
Those are
Okay.
little carrots.
Those are little carrots.
Or
How
look
about
at
that?
these this variety of different lettuces.
Gives a whole nother meaning to bag salad, right?
Strawberry salad.
Yeah, right. You
Isn't
got
that
your
good?
lettuce and radishes and strawberry. Yeah, that's great. Okay, so
Okay.
that's one thing that you
So
can use.
That's one option. Another option, a lot of people use their earth
Sure,
boxes.
sure.
And they've got them here, and that would
And that
be-
has the drain, the little drainage, so that the roots don't get all soggy and wet if you.
and a reservoir, so
Right.
you don't have to worry too much about
Right.
watering.
Okay.
Okay. So now we'll get to your beautiful.
All right,
containers.
we have and they are gorgeous. We have so many beautiful planters and pots here at Willey Farms, and this is just one of them. You picked out the red one, but they're just gorgeous. So what are we going to do with this lovely little, or maybe this one, whichever?
Either one. We're going to plant them both with a combination of flowers and herbs and edibles.
Okay. All right.
The options are really endless. I mean, for this one, you've got that beautiful red on both of them. This would be a great center.
Okay. Pretty
Little
rose.
Variegated rose, and rose petals are edible. And just add them into your salad.
Wow, okay.
They're really good. Another edible plant is a dianthus.
Oh, the dianthus. Yeah, I like dianthus.
Beautiful, spicy, and that would kind of go with that
Right.
red rim.
Yeah, you can color coordinate your flowers and the color of your pot, because the pots nowadays are not just brown or terracotta. They're gorgeous colors.
And then you play off those colors, and that's when you start to have fun.
There you go.
Picking all your different materials.
All right.
So another thing I like to do is to put a pot in the center for my thriller, so I can have this rose in there for as long as I'd like. And then if I want to change the color scheme or do something more seasonal,
Okay.
even in the fall I could do a mum. I just pull this out and put the next plant.
And everything that you've done around here just goes on as usual.
Keeps going. Yep.
That's a good idea. I like that.
So which one do you think for this center?
I think the dianthus.
Okay, so we'll go with the edible dianthus.
Okay.
And I'm just going to stick it in the pot and put a little soil in there, make it happy, and we'll compost over that rim.
Oh, I see.
So
Okay.
it doesn't show.
All right.
So now we've got this beautiful pink, and now working on the reds and the containers, we've
Oh,
got
right.
this beautiful Swiss chard.
Swiss chard. Okay.
So that will be some tall accents working around the pot. Look at the bright lights. It's got
Right,
yellows,
yellow.
and oranges, and reds. And look at these great big 6-packs they've got here.
I know.
Wonderful. Would you like to plant?
Okay, we'll plant. Oh, these are nice and moist too, aren't
Yeah,
they?
they are ready to go.
Now, would you put like one over here and one over there and divide them out that way?
That's
Okay.
what I would do.
Okay.
It depends on your seating area, if you're going to be really formal or if you're going to do something kind of funky and fun.
And either is right. There's no right or wrong.
Right. We're here to play. We're here to have fun.
That's right.
There's not a lot of opportunities in today's world to have fun.
And be
That's
able to
what
get
this is
done
all
and sit
about.
back and go, oh, that's beautiful, and I did it.
Exactly.
There.
And then you've got this beautiful container when you're entertaining outdoors.
Mm-hmm.
Your guests will be able to say, oh, there's Swiss chard in your meal. We've got some edible flowers in the salad from the lettuce that we're growing here.
Okay.
Willey's always gets a great selection of container edibles too. Later in the season, you'll have great bush tomatoes and even citrus plants. Lemons, limes,
okay. Yes.
tangerines.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That would make a beautiful centerpiece. So that's when it really is nice to have the pot where you can pick
I
and
hadn't thought
choose.
about that where you can interchange that. That's really a good idea.
How about putting some of these in?
Now we've got some lettuce.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's there we go. Kind of have to squeeze it out. There
And
we
this
go.
has got this nice lime green too, which will give you a little more contrast to brighten things
Yeah,
up
there's
a
all
little
kinds
bit.
of colors and
Yep, violas are also edible.
oh right.
So let's throw a few
I
of those
love
in there.
these colors here. This is so pretty. So you put some of that in, the purple and the yellow.
Yeah.
Let's put one more in there.
One more. Did you get
Let's
it?
kind of squeeze it out. There we go. All right.
Works better as a team. Calendula is another flower that is an herb, but also a very good edible.
Oh, okay.
The petals in salad are just terrific. This is a new one. It's a proven winner. It's called Lady Godiva.
Oh, nice.
It's more heat
nice.
tolerant than the usual types
Yeah.
that are out there.
And I should tell folks that you're the one that brings us our proven winner flowers.
I believe in proven winners, yes. I think they're wonderful. They're kind of the Consumer Reports of the plant world.
Oh, okay.
So if it's a proven winner, you know it's been tested.
oh,
and
good
it's
to
gonna
know.
work for you.
That's great.
So especially if you're a novice gardener, it just gives
Just
you
getting
another
started?
level.
Okay. So you can have
confidence.
confidence in it when you get it. All right. So is this full enough?
No, we're gonna
It's not.
just keep packing.
Oh, we are.
because,
Okay.
Yeah, now we're going into the herbs. Look at this beautiful golden oregano.
Okay.
at
So
that
now
color.
we've got herbs. All right.
Okay, so find a place, tuck them in. Really, you can be as full and as flamboyant as you like.
Because some of these will continue to grow.
Exactly, and you're going to be cutting the lettuce and eating it.
Well, that's true.
So
that's
gonna
true.
be taking away from it.
All right.
You could even, if you didn't do the strawberry tower, you could very easily do strawberries cascading over
Right,
the
right, right,
sides.
right. Okay.
Okay.
We can
So
put
let's
we can put the
this
strawberry back here.
Rutgers Select Ever Bearing.
All right.
in there, and have your beautiful red berries cascading over the pot.
That's nice. That would on your patio, that would be really, really nice.
That will grow in very nicely, and everything will coordinate, and then you'll have something to talk about, as well as the butterflies and the pollinators, the hummingbirds coming in and visiting the container. So
okay, so shall we move on to this one here?
Let's do it.
Let's move on to this one.
Okay, we stayed with the same kind of color scheme. Now this is a little bit taller, so this would probably be more appropriate for, say, you could do a pepper plant in this. You could do a bush tomato plant in
I've
this.
used those before. They're very good.
Yeah,
it's very good to
really
use those.
We could even, if we were really wild and
Oh,
crazy,
we have a trellis.
put a trellis in this pot and plant any number of seeds. You could do cucumbers on the trellis, peas, beans.
Beans.
Some beans have beautiful flowers that would be really pretty, and then have your herbs and your flowers.
Okay.
underneath.
All right. So you would put that tomato plant in the middle,
Right.
and then some of your other herbs and flowers around the edge.
Yep. And have the plant the beans in the back and have them come up the trellis.
Okay.
Okay.
And when you get these all planted, and then you can, where the compost comes in, you get some of the compost. This is pretty good compost here too.
That's excellent.
The mushroom compost is really, really good. We have that here at Willey Farms, and of course all of the great Espoma products that we have, and this happens to be garden tone for your herbs and your vegetables, so that would be excellent for any of this.
All organic, perfectly safe. I have to admit, I don't compost because I have bears in my neighborhood.
Oh,
So I have to be careful not to attract.
Certainly,
so I
you
buy
do.
my compost.
Okay.
What you would do with that is just top dress.
Mm-hmm.
Once you've got everything planted, then you would put a layer of the compost around all the plants. It would protect the roots and keep everything evenly moist, as well as feeding the plant.
okay, good.
Okay, so let's go quickly into this pot. Same kind of concept. You're just going to go with herbs and vegetables with great colors. This is a perennial, also can go in your yard, but it's a sorrel.
Oh, wow.
It's
Okay.
a great salad green. Here's a beautiful little contrasting.
Oh, that's pretty.
Variegated oregano.
Variegated oregano. So when next time you're doing tomato sauce for spaghetti, or you just go out on your patio and grab some and chop it up and put it in there.
Some rosemary. Oh yeah, here's
There's
some
the rosemary. Okay,
That would work very well.
that
in
would
there.
work well. There we go. You're supposed to make a mess when you garden, I think.
That's the fun
I
part,
think.
yeah. You get to make a mess.
Yes, you get to make a mess. Okay, and we need a couple out here.
Yeah, I would put in some annuals for some annual color that will just add a pop to the pot. Here's another one here.
There we go.
That will color things up. Maybe not necessarily edible, but bright
Sure.
color.
Yeah.
Kind of spectacular.
All right.
And then some of these beautiful lettuces.
And we've got some more lettuce, so we can throw that in there.
Yep.
I like the variety. I
do
variety
too.
of all the different things. And it just goes to show you that you don't have to put all one thing in one pot. You can, they like to live together. They're
Absolutely.
okay.
They all work together. They all work together on our plate, and they all work together to entertain our guests when they come
Okay.
over.
So now we know about vegetable, small container gardening, perfect for an apartment balcony.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. If you don't have a lot of property, you can still garden. You can still grow flowers. You can still grow oregano. You just have to pick it out and coordinate it, and it looks beautiful.
Sure.
Okay.
It's can be difficult for some older folks to get out in the garden, but
Right.
this is a way where they can still have fresh, their own produce.
All right. Wonderful. All right, Heather, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great information again.
It's always fun. Thank you, Donna.
All right, now we know about container vegetable gardening. Well, I sure hope that you learned as much as I did about composting and vegetable container gardening. Thanks again to the students from the FFA program at Middletown High School, and also to Heather Callahan, who always comes with lots of great information. Check us out all over social media. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook. You can check out our YouTube channel and also our website. Of course, keep up to date on all the things that are going on here at Willey Farms. That's willeyfarms.com. We're easy to find, just south of Odessa, just north of Smyrna, right on Route 13. If you travel Route 1, no problem there. Easy on and off access as well. That's going to do it for this time. Have a great day.